The sun was setting last night on Colorado, yet the Columbine Memorial was filled with light, a symbol of this community's steadfast devotion to illuminating the darkness.
It's important for us to remember those that died, not to let their memory be forgotten.
The vigil was dedicated to Columbine's 13 victims, including Rachel Joy Scott. Her family created Rachel's Challenge, a program that combats bullying, in her honor.
She had a sense of purpose for her life. She drew an outline of her hands on the back of her dresser when she was 13 years old. And she wrote, "These hands belong to Rachel Joy Scott and will someday touch millions of people's hearts."
Rachel's brother, Craig Scott, survived the shooting, but in addition to losing his sister, he lost his friend, Isaiah Scholes.
I really liked Isaiah. The first time I met him, he always made me laugh.
2 days later, Craig appeared on Today with Isaiah's father, a moment remembered for this, a light in the dark.
I started to get emotional, and Isaiah's dad reached out his hand and put his hand on mine. It was just a very special moment.
The shooting at Columbine was unlike anything America had seen at the time, but it was only the beginning, since there have been so many more. 32 killed at Virginia Tech, 26 at Sandy Hook, 17 in Parkland, Florida.
I think we are a guiding light for some of these other communities that have gone through similar things.
Frank DEANGELIS was Columbine's principal in 1999. Though he retired 5 years ago, he still advises schools that experienced shootings, including Parkland last year.
And they were seeming helpless and hopeless, but when we can get some of our former students to say, we were in that same dark place as you are, but there will be light again. And I think that's an important message.
There were lessons learned from Columbine. Police now trained to confront gunmen immediately rather than wait for SWAT teams. But Tom Mauser feels more can be done. He has spent the past 20 years pushing for stronger gun laws, a cause important to his son Daniel, who was murdered at Columbine. Tom still wears the size 10.5 shoes his son was wearing when he died.
You truly are walking in his shoes.
Yes.
What's the message you hope that sends?
Parents shouldn't have to do this. Parents shouldn't survive their kids. They shouldn't have their kids killed needlessly. Got to do something about it. And that's why I stepped in these shoes, to do something about it.
20 years after Columbine was thrust into darkness, this community continues to find the light.